seconds to go. Florida trying to end it up against the wall, which would be fitting. 3 seconds to go. The Florida Panthers have won the Stanley Cup. For the first time in their 30-year history, the Florida Panthers are Stanley Cup champions. They made it about as hard on themselves as they possibly could, battling a valiant Edmonton team that had rallied from adversity all season long. And Paul Maurice, coaching lifer, 30 years in the National Hockey League, has his Stanley Cup.
Here's your host of What the Puck is Going On, Dave Metzger.
All right, welcome back in to the studio. Here we are again for yet another Tuesday edition. What the Puck is Going On. Steve, probably the busiest Tuesday we're going to get of the year. The NHL Frenzy is this evening, so we have a ton to get to. But Steve, how are you on this dreary day here?
Doing good. A perfect day for some National Hockey League wagering. And we have, like you said, a ton of games. They start every 15 minutes and everybody in action tonight.
Yep, all 32 teams. So you get them from 6:40 all the way to 11 o'clock if you're staying up late here in the Eastern time zone. So, Steve, we got a lot to get to. Let's get into the standings here. We'll start in the Eastern Conference as usual. We'll go Atlantic Division first. Montreal leading this division with 14 points. Detroit second with 12. Ottawa with 11. There's your top three. Then it follows Florida, Buffalo. How about that? Toronto and Tampa Bay towards the bottom, and Boston bringing up the rear. So for me, Steve, I knew Montreal. I figured that they would be a team that's right in the playoff conversation again, but they're leading this division to start things out. Anything else here surprising you in the Atlantic so far?
Wow, Montreal 4-2 on the road. Like you said, 7-3. They've grabbed 14 points. And let's see. They have 66 goals in the 10 games they played, so they're right at the 6.5 line. That's kind of where I'm looking at, Dave.
Right.
Not really looking for surprises so much, but just to see where these teams are scoring. And last week when I kind of looked at this trend, and we'll kind of catch up on it now, really, as we go through the standings, is you'll kind of get a good average of what everyone's doing so far. And I think we're leaning kind of underish. I feel like we've had a few more high-scoring games this week. So let's try to figure it out, see if we can't find a couple of over teams. I guess the surprise to me besides that would be Tampa Bay, right? You kind of said it to me last week off the air. They're right there at the bottom. I think we kind of were hoping Boston would be better, but really kind of do in our heart of hearts, they might be kind of towards the bottom of the Atlantic here. But Tampa Bay is a team we're not used to seeing down towards that bottom, only grabbing 3 wins in regulation so far. If you look at them, they only have 52 goals scored in their 9 games. So they have, let's see, just about 5.5 goals, maybe a little closer to 6. So we're used to seeing them score more goals, at least offensively, and that has not come about. I mean, they've only scored 24 themselves. They're not even averaging 3 goals a game.
Right.
So it's going to be hard to win hockey games when you're doing that kind of thing. let's see, other teams in the Atlantic here. Now, Ottawa, pay attention to their games because it looks like we have 75 goals scored in 10 games for them. So that's a 7.5 a game. So they're your one pure over team in the Atlantic. Winners of 3 in a row, too. So they've been kind of streaky. They've been one of those teams that has looked bad for a couple of games in a row. Then now they look really good. It'll be interesting to see if they kind of teeter-totter in that direction as we go forward. But yeah, I mean, Florida 500, but with the injuries, a little different division than what we're seeing that used to. Detroit up there, like we said as well. So, Buffalo not as bad as everyone thinks right now. 4-4-1. So interesting storyline so far in the Atlantic.
Yeah, absolutely, Steve. And it's interesting to note with Ottawa too. 7 goals apiece in their last 2 games, so riding right with that average that you mentioned. Man, they can score some goals. So keep an eye on them. Definitely over scenarios whenever they're playing. Let's get into the Metro. The New Jersey Devils leading this division with 16 points. Then you have the Pittsburgh Penguins. How about that with 15 points? And Carolina, your third place team, with 12. Washington right behind them with 12 as well. Then it goes New York Islanders, the Flyers, Philadelphia, that is, Columbus Blue Jackets. And how about this, Steve? Coaching change. They were thinking for the better. I still think at some point it will be, but the New York Rangers down at the bottom of the Metro, where I think a lot of people thought that was going to be Pittsburgh's spot this year. So they're my surprise at the moment in the Metro. So what are your thoughts here?
Now, the Rangers were trending to kind of spiral out of control last season, and I think everyone figured, like you said, they kind of correct themselves. I heard some preseason guys say that they really love them to win the Stanley Cup at a big price. Now's the time to jump on the Rangers. I mean, is it time to jump off ship? I mean, probably not completely. You mentioned Columbus, the team above them. They're 500. I mean, so this is a very good division right now. Everyone has a record at 500 or better, unless you're the Rangers.
Right.
In here right now. And the 3 losses, and there's a bad string of losses, right? They lose to San Jose bad. They lose to Calgary bad. I don't know how you survive that. But they need to turn things around and probably do it sooner than later, because these teams are going to start to maybe pull away. Now, good, but we don't really have any streaks here. The Rangers are the one losing streak of 3. The Devils have won 8 in a row. Besides that, everyone's won or lost a game in their last 2, splitting that at 500. But a good division. The Islanders playing nice. Again, the Carolinas kind of picked up right where they left off. And New Jersey's been really, really strong here for them. Now, if we're going to try to identify some of the higher or lower scoring games, Washington was the dead under team last week. Now, it looks like they've improved on that a little bit. More goals scored here in their recent games. Let's see, the Rangers only have 22 goals scored, right? The Rangers are a dead under team in these losses, too. Only averaging 4.8 goals a game in their 10 games between the two sides. Let's see. Columbus is nothing to write home about in terms of trying to get over the total either. Let's see. The Flyers are a dead under team themselves. Just 43 goals scored in Flyer games through 8 games so far. So that's barely over 5. Only 8 games played for the Islanders, but they have 58 goals scored. All right, so they're right at 7 or more. So that's kind of a surprise over type of deal for them. Carolina's been a little bit of an over team with 53 goals. The Penguins at 65, so they've been an over team at 6.5 per game. All right, at that number. And then also Jersey, pretty good with 57 goals scored in their games. They've only allowed 22 goals. So They're allowing just over 2 goals a game defensively, which is very, very impressive. Philadelphia, though, I mean, as bad as they can't score, they're not allowing the goals either. And Washington is defensively nice, only a little over 2 goals a game allowed themselves.
Right. So yes, that's some trends I've noticed as well, Steve. Pittsburgh definitely playing to their overs right now. Their team totals have been good too. I had them for 3.5 last night at plus money. They are on the back-to-back, I should mention. And they flew over that. They won 6-3 against St. Louis. So I feel pretty comfortable doing some team totals with a little bit higher numbers right now with Pittsburgh. And Steve, we talked about it off air, and you asked me, could the New York Islanders be an over team? I think we're going to answer that question when we get into the games here. So let's jump into the West.
And real quick, right back to the East, and specifically the Atlantic with Boston. They have 77 goals through 11 games.
Oh, yeah.
So that is over 7.5 goals, and they've given up 42. So they are giving up a ton of goals.
Yeah, you got to feel bad for Swayman back there. Gets his contract, and then, man, they're letting everything go by him right now, it seems.
Basically, everything against Boston over 3.5 is a green light right now.
Absolutely. All right, out in the West, Steve, we'll start in the Central here. And I've got a surprise right off the jump here for you. Utah Mammoth are leading this division right now with 16 points. Then you have Colorado with 14 and Winnipeg with 12. Dallas has 11. Steve, Chicago has 10. They're here to say, hey, we got something to say about this division as well. The Nashville, Minnesota, who maybe we thought would be more towards the top, and St. Louis to round out the division there. And it's worth noting we're only 10 games in, Steve, but you can kind of get a feel after 10 games, can't you?
Yeah. But I still think this sounds like it's going to end up being a hard division, because I think even if St. Louis and Minnesota are going to be at the bottom, those are in Nashville. Those are still going to be 3 hard games to play, whoever you are.
Absolutely.
I think so. Again, just someone's got to win and someone's got to lose. And you got to give Utah all the credit. Dylan Guenther is the young superstar there. If you have not heard his name, he's a goal scorer and a guy you can probably lean on somewhat dependably for his props. Not that they're going to pay a lot, but if you're going to do goal scorer parlays, you might as well get used to someone like Dylan Guenther if he's going to be on one of the better teams. Now, the Avalanche have lost 4 in a row. These Mammoth have won 7 in a row after a slow start. And they didn't score anything the first couple of games. I'm
right.
Like, well, I guess Utah's not going to be any good. And here they are, 7 games in a row later with wins. And the other 2 streaks would be Minnesota and St. Louis, 3 and 4, respectively. Now, if we look at the goals scored right here, those first couple of games are kind of keeping the average down for Utah. They've been more of an over team here lately. But right now, averaging just over 6 goals a game. Same with Colorado, a little under 6. Winnipeg's only at 52 with 9 games played. So right around, upper 5s, a little over 5.5. Dallas is at 58 goals scored in their games through 9 for them. And everyone's played 9 or 10, a handful of 8s. Let's see. So they're kind of average in terms of over-under would go, maybe between 6.5 for them. Same with Chicago, which is better because Chicago was kind of they played a lot of lower scoring games last year, right?
Oh, absolutely.
They're the worst in the league with scoring goals. They have 26 already for them. So they're just averaging over 2.5, a little more than 2.5 a game, which is still better than what they were doing. But defensively, they've been solid. They've only allowed 23. Winnipeg's been solid defensively, allowing 22. So no one's scoring on these guys. Nashville having issues scoring, 26 for them. So that's 2.5 goals for them in 10 games. Minnesota as well. So this is an under division.
Yeah, it seems that way, Steve. And Utah has a very interesting game later tonight at 9:40 p.m. Eastern, and I think there's going to be an opportunity to take them. It's going to be a little bit close, I think, but the way they're playing right now, when we get to that game, I'll share what I did with that. So, Steve, in the Pacific, we have Vegas leading this division with 13 points. Seattle, maybe another surprise, up there with 12. LA, right where they usually are, in third place in that division with 11 points. Then you have Vancouver, Edmonton, Anaheim, San Jose, and how about this, Steve? Calgary, the worst team in the league right now. So the Pacific, interesting, with Seattle playing some good hockey right now. Vegas, I think, is going to win this division. They look very, very good out of the gate. So they're right where we thought they'd probably be. And again, LA just bringing up, their usual spot. Steve, what do you think here in the Pacific?
Those streak longer than 1 or 2 losses or wins. And everyone, again, is pretty much – now they're doing better than the Central, but everyone's a little bit closer to still being a mildly average under team.
Right.
If that makes sense.
Yeah, yep.
Kind of barely under, 6 goals exactly in the Edmonton games. Same with the Vancouver. The 2 teams that are flying over the total with goals here are going to be Anaheim and San Jose. 73 goals in the 9 San Jose games. So that is right at 8 goals a game. And San Jose games, that is a lot.
Yeah, it is.
And Anaheim has 58 goals scored in their 8 games. So that's an average over 7 or so. It'll be interesting to see these spreads come Anaheim and San Jose, because those could be play-ons for sure. A ton of goals being scored. If we're going to get a good number with this Anaheim-Florida game, it'll be interesting to see what we get. Then we might have to look at a few overs here.
Yeah, no doubt.
Some of these teams. So again, let me just repeat the over teams.
All right.
Just so we know who's scoring a lot or can give up a lot. But Ottawa is an offense and defensive over team. Boston is still scoring but giving up a ton of goals. Montreal over team. Slightly to the over team. I'm talking like extreme cases. Islanders over team.
Probably Pittsburgh.
Pittsburgh over team. Anaheim, San Jose. So some obscure teams for the over. And Utah is kind of trending that way after starting off slow out of the gate. All right. Should we look at injuries real quick?
Yeah, you want to go through some injuries, and then we'll get into the slate?
Well, the one thing I was saying is we're extremely banged up last go-around. So let's just see where we're at. A couple of key injuries for Anaheim, Chris Kreider and Ratko Gudas, both day-to-day. So that could be an issue for them. Buffalo is extremely banged up right now, short-term wise. Boston's good. Calgary good. Carolina banged up with some known players there. Tyler Bertuzzi, undisclosed reasons for him for Chicago, but relatively okay there. Colorado's okay. Columbus okay. Dallas missing Rupe Hintz and Jamie Benn right now. So Matt Duchene as well. Lundqvist. So right for the picking for your Capitals maybe tonight.
No doubt. Yeah, they're banged
Dallas.
up.
Detroit, Patrick Kane is their only listed player. Janmark and Kasperi Kapanen, both for Edmonton. Zach Hyman as well. So they are banged up. Florida banged up too. No Brad Marchand. How about that? Kolakov, Matthew Tkachuk, longer term. Barkov, maybe back by the Gadjevich as well hurt. So Florida right for the picking maybe. A couple injuries for the Kings. Minnesota somewhat banged up. Montreal's in good shape. Nashville's in good shape. New Jersey has players listed, but that doesn't seem to stop them. The Islanders, 6 players on the injured list. Rippe, the big thug for the Rangers, out. Same as Trocheck. Brady Tkachuk out for Ottawa until December. So missing a key player there. Philadelphia is fine. Pittsburgh is decent. San Jose missing 3 defensemen. Maybe that's their issue. And a goalie, Carey Price. Maybe that's their issue, giving up goals. Seattle's good shape. St. Louis, Tampa Bay, all good. Toronto, let's see, William Nylander's day-to-day. Out a handful of players for them. Utah is got a couple of short-term guys. That's it. Vancouver is one of your more banged-up teams. 7 players listed for them. Philip Cheadle among those. Vegas missing Mark Stone and Pietrangelo, so good players for them. And Pietrangelo, he's gone.
Yeah, absolutely.
Dylan Strome, my man, out for the short term, as is Rasmus Sundin for the Caps. And then Lowry and Perfetti are good players for Winnipeg, sidelined at least for the moment for Winnipeg. So, yeah, very notable injuries out there.
Absolutely. Some definitely that may affect some teams.
Florida. To me, Dave, I mean, if we're looking at stuff in terms of that, I mean, Dallas and Florida, both kind of heavyweights that you got to really pay attention to, over investing in them at this point.
Right.
Maybe even Carolina's one to look out for as well.
I think they're pretty banged up too, aren't they?
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
And they have a tough matchup tonight. We'll get to that one here.
And Vancouver is the real big banged up team.
Yeah. Yep. And like I said, we'll get to that. Injuries kind of concerned me in that game tonight for Carolina. But Steve, let's jump right into it. We've got every game to go over. So let's start off here with Calgary visiting Toronto to take on the Maple Leafs. We're going to get a goaltending matchup tonight. Anthony Stolarz in goal for Toronto. Dustin Wolf for Calgary. 25.5 saves is the number right now for Stolarz, and 24.5 for Dustin Wolf. Steve, I'm just going to play it like this, all right? I think this is one without the Leafs are with their 4-4 mark, kind of hovering in the middle towards the bottom of that division. Let's just keep it simple here and think that they're at home ice tonight, that they can take care of business. I'm going to go with the 60-minute line of -125 for the Maple Leafs tonight. I think that's just the short and sweet of it. Let's not get too involved with team goals and all that kind of nonsense here in this game. Let's just keep it short and sweet. What do you think?
I see Dustin Wolf listed for Calgary. I see Anthony Stolarz listed for Toronto. I think this is a Toronto game. They seem to have that crowd confidence behind them. When they kind of stumbled a little bit earlier in the season, they came home and got off a few quick goals quickly, and then all was right in the world. And they do need to pick it up in the standings. I mean, they are right there at the bottom. They don't want to hang out there too long. This is the kind of opponent that comes in that they should be able to beat. And I would imagine, you bite your tongue and you're disgusted when they don't do it. But I mean, you're barking up the right alley with the 60-minute line, maybe even the puck line if you want to go that route. If you want to take them for 3 goals or 4 goals, I think that's fine. I think I'm going to find 6 teams to take over 2.5 goals tonight. I used that strategy and went 5-1 the other night. So with my profit boost, I can make up with some juice and reduce the amount of goals needed. Let's see here. The Toronto goals for 3.5 is at +110. I think that's fair, I would say. Let's look at the splits again real quick. for Calgary in terms of them giving up goals. Now, the Flames, they've given up 35 goals in 10 games. So Toronto at over 3.5 is right on that average, and we're getting plus money. So I think that's an auto play there for over 3.5. But I said even 2.5, right? Let's see there. Toronto over 2.5.
Yeah, 3.5 was the plus number, right?
Is minus 225. So I might keep that 3.5 and build off of that with some 2.5s at plus 110. So give me the Maple Leafs at home here, Dave.
All right. Next game up here, Steve. Pittsburgh is in Philly taking on the Flyers. I have no goalies listed at them. Do you have any goalies listed?
Let's see here.
I didn't have any.
Probably not. Both of these teams are, or at least the Penguins are off a back-to-back here.
Yep.
So it'll be interesting to see really how they respond on that coming out. Penguins and Flyers, goalies, nothing yet.
All right, nothing yet. So, Steve, we know that Pittsburgh's on the back-to-back tonight. The Flyers, they don't score many. They might not give as many up either. So I think in this game, with Pittsburgh being one of our over teams, I think any other night I would play it, but I would actually tend to go under 6.5 is the number in this game. Minus 1.5 for the Flyers is at plus 160. So they are favored at home tonight, probably because of the back-to-back. I think I would just play the under, Steve. Pittsburgh scored 6 last night. And it usually takes quite an effort to score that many goals. Now you're coming on a back-to-back. Travel's not so much of an issue, being that those two cities not terribly far apart. So I think under 6.5, Steve, at minus 130 would be my play in this game. I didn't actually make a play, but if I had to go with something here, I think under 6.5 is your idea tonight.
Probably going to end up being a no play for me just because of the Penguins back-to-back. But how do you not like their mojo,
Right.
They've been on fire. But at this stage of this rivalry, in-state rivalry, I think it'll just be a pass for me.
All right. Let's go here with the Vegas Golden Knights heading to Carolina to take on the Hurricanes. These two getting their season set out of the way early. They've already played once in Vegas when the Carolina made their West Coast trip. Over under tonight, 6.5 goals. Minus 1.5 for the Hurricanes is at plus 170. They're minus 148 on the money line. Man, I tell you what, with the injuries, and this is the one I was concerned about the most, really, with the injuries. And it might be a really, really good spot for the Golden Knights here, even though they did win, so they would sweep the season set. I think this is a good opportunity for them tonight in Carolina to take advantage of a hurt, banged up Carolina squad. I don't have any goalies listed either. But Steve, could you sign up for a Golden Knights money line?
Ooh, this is a hard game. My first inclination is to take the under, but I don't even know if that's the right play at minus 134. Both of these teams could end up scoring right at that number, or we get 3-3 going into overtime. I would maybe look at the route of Vegas, Dave.
I went 2.5.
Yeah, maybe in the 2.5 range because it's only minus 146. And that would be a good one to add on to the parlay, I think, at the end of the day. I'll put them on that ticket for now. And if I don't see anything else, 5 other better things come along, I'll put them on there. I don't think I like it like a Toronto, but over 2.5, you can sign me up for right now.
Yeah, let's put a little bookmark on that one. I do like Vegas in this spot. Nothing against Carolina. It's a strong team. We all know that they'll be in the playoff mix as well. But just a lot of injuries, those things can happen. So, Steve, here's another game. Columbus Blue Jackets. They're in Buffalo to take on the Sabres. You're over under tonight, 6.5. Minus 120 for the Sabres, so they are favored at home. The Blue Jackets, plus 100 on the money line. Let's see if we got some goalies here. Yes, we have Jet Greaves and Alex Lyon. So you're over saves 25.5 for Jet Greaves. He's going to be playing for Columbus. Alex Lyon in goal for Buffalo. He's also at 25.5. Steve, I think, let me see. I don't have.
So there's no Merzlikins.
No, nope.
Right.
I don't know. I think at the end of the day, I just don't have the trust of these two teams just yet. I think it's going to be a no play.
Let me look at these backup goalies. Or Lyon's not necessarily one. But Greaves is 1-3. Now, he's played as many games as Merzlikins, interestingly enough. Jet Greaves in just the second season, 2.80 goals against. He is 1-3, so he hasn't gotten much support on his back end or as far as his offense is concerned. Because 2.80 is not too bad, right?
No.
0.903 save percentage for him.
So figure about 90%.
So it's interesting that him and Merzlikins are getting the split here, where Alex Lyon is the clear goalie over the other kid. Lyon is only 0.261 against for goals, 3 of 4 overall. He does have a shutout this season. So where this sounds like this could be an over game, or you would think, it kind of almost trends to be a sneaky under game. And for that reason alone, will be a no play to me. But I would maybe lean under 6.5.
Right. And
it won't be a play for me, but not every game's going to go over. This sounds like it would be an over game. That's probably why the under is a good call. And
it sounds like 3-2 from one of these teams anyway. Right. Worth mentioning that the 6.5, the over and the under are both at minus 110. So this is really kind of a coin flip game. And for that reason, I will leave it alone. So tough handicapping there. Be a no play for us here in the studio.
I will say that Adam Fantilli has a nice start for Columbus.
Right.
Scoring goals.
You're going to get a good number for him to score too. So next game up, Steve, the Ducks are in Florida to take on the Panthers. Let's see if we got some goalies here. Tarasov for the Panthers. Looks like he's going to get the net over Bob Broski tonight. No Anaheim goalie just yet. Boy, man, Steve, that right there. Let's go through the lines real quick first. 6.5 is the number, plus 105 for the over, minus 125 for the under. I don't know, Steve. I think this is a Ducks team total right here. Yeah, I played over 2.5 at minus 145. I don't think that's terrible. We've seen them score, and I've actually had a couple team totals get the check mark from the Ducks. So I'm not afraid to ride with them for some goals. You got the backup goalie in net. Florida Panthers are a little banged up, and they're not exactly playing their best hockey right now either. Steve, this is a green light. Ducks team total for me tonight.
Daniil Tarasov is a Russian goaltender, 0-2 on the season, 3.08 goals against average. So that is 32nd in the league right now, 0.887 save percentage. So he's got help defensively, but not getting a lot of shots on the goal against him, but he's been giving up goals. So let's just look at what we might have on the other side for the Kings. You have Mrazek and you have Dostal. Dostal has been the guy who has played the most. If we get him tonight, he's 2-3-1, 3.02 goals against, 8.899. So he's given up some goals himself. But we were talking about the injuries now in Florida. I mean, they're missing a lot offensively now as well. Mrazek, if we get him tonight, 5.52 goals against average for him. And he has 2 wins. How about that? 2 wins with a 5.52 goals against average and a .831 save percentage for Peter Mrazek. Interesting, right?
Yes, very.
So maybe this is a green light to the over, but the Florida injuries scare me. So yeah, let's take the Duck goals here for sure. And if we're gonna take them, let's see, the straight over under 6.5 minus 106. Real quick, back to the Florida splits on things. They are an under team right now, just 53 goals through 10. So yeah, everything here points to Anaheim and at least their team goals. And at over 2.5 is minus 140. You can sign me up for that all day.
Absolutely. I love it.
Over 3.5 is plus 176. You can probably sign me up for that, to be honest.
Yeah, that could get a separate play, honestly. I like the Ducks to get to their total tonight. Next game up. All right, this one's interesting. I want to put a little bit of trust into this New York Islanders team. They're in Boston taking on the struggling Bruins right now. The over-under is 6.5, plus 105 for the over, minus 125 for the under. I think I understand that. Minus 1.5 on the puck line looks a little bit interesting for the Islanders as well. Let's see if we got the goalie matchup. Korpisalo is going to be in goal tonight for the Bruins and Sorokin for the Islanders. So backup goalie Korpisalo in there for the Bruins. I just think that kind of cements what I like there. And it's going to be an Islanders team total. It's going to be an Islanders puck line for me. Steve, I think they can get it done on the road here.
All right, let's look at Korpisalo, who's 1-3 on the season, 4.03 goals against, a .845 save percentage, which is 48th in the league. Is 4.03 goals against, 49th in the league. So to finish, Korpisalo definitely struggling, Dave. And on the flip side of things, we're going to get Sorokin, right?
Definitely the better goaltender.
2-3-1. He's been struggling a little bit. 3.70 goals against, .875. Now, Boston has scored their goals as well. So I think this might just be the dead over game. Over 6.5 is plus 104. If you want to take the Islanders at over 3.5 plus 112, that's the risky one for sure. But I think you can get both ways. I think Boston will probably score, at least their 3 goals. And if the Islanders score their 4, then everything's hitting the home. Over 6.5, over 3.5. Maybe the safer play is to play over 6.5 because you really should almost slap yourself if you're talking about taking Islander over team goals. But they've changed something up. They're a lot more attack-minded now than defensive-minded. So maybe you just ride that wave. I'm not going to fault either strategy of over or Islander goals over. Let's see. What's Boston getting for their over 2.5? That might be the sneaky way to go.
Right.
Because they're still scoring. Minus 152 is over 2.5 for Boston.
Nice. Okay, I like it. I played the 60-minute Islander line, trying to get some of these 60-minute lines home, getting a little bit better numbers with these favorites here. So I'm going to take the Islanders on the 60 there, Steve. So let's go here. Here's a game. This feels like some kind of trap to me in a way that it could just get pulled under. And that's Tampa Bay in Nashville taking on the Predators. This is your 5.5 right here. I think this is the first one we've had so far. It is. 5.5 is your number tonight. Minus 130 for the over. Plus 110 for the under. I think they're kind of giving that one to you right there. Let's see if we've got a goaltending matchup already.
I see UC Saros.
Yeah, UC Saros in Nashville. Tampa Bay to be determined. So I don't know, Steve. I didn't play anything on this. Again, Tampa hasn't really the trust factor hasn't risen with them just yet. And Nashville just kinds of some games they're putting a bunch of them in the back of the net. Sometimes they're scoring one, maybe two. It's just hot and cold there with Nashville. Maybe the same type of deal with Tampa Bay. Steve, I think this is one that I myself would pull back from. It just feels like some kind of trap under game to me.
Yeah, I don't think I want any piece of either one of these teams right now, to be honest. I'm trying to keep certain teams within my profile, and these two are definitely on the outside.
Right.
And I don't know if I ever foresee them kind of getting on the inside. Saros is having a good year, 2.69 goals against. He's one of the better goalies still in the NHL. So at least Nashville always has that going for them when you're talking about winning games or, betting on the under, which is a good Nashville way to go about life in the last couple of years overall. Vasilevsky struggling a little bit. Only 3 goals against, 0.89 save to percentage, but he's not getting help offensively either. We talked about how the Lightning have struggled. If they're not scoring goals and they're going against Saros, then tough sledding for sure. A pass for me. Under would be the lean, but I will pass.
All right. Next game up, Winnipeg is in Minnesota taking on the Wild. Here we go. Another 5.5. Your over is going to pay minus 125. Your under plus 105. I think I could understand that. Let's see if we got a goaltending matchup tonight. I do not. Steve, do you have any goalies?
Nope.
All right. So, Steve, what I did here is, again, I kind of took all the other stuff, all the bells and whistles out of it. I'm just going to play a Winnipeg puck, not a puck line, but a money line at minus 115. They are the better team. They're on the road. Minnesota just really kind of struggling, not quite what we thought they would be here to this point in the season. So, Steve, give me Winnipeg on the money line.
Connor Hellebuck, if he ends up going 2.16 goals against, 0.928 save percentage, which is pretty good. And then even the backup's good. Eric Comrie, let's see, he is 2.50 goals against, 0.926 save percentage for him. So all the trust does come on the back end for Winnipeg here, at a Minnesota team who, let's see here. Let me look at their splits. I feel like they're lacking on the back end a little bit. Let's clarify that. Yeah, they've given up 39 goals in 10 games. So to me, the Jets would be a play here, and the Jets team goals. I think if you want to take the Jets, who are a slight favorite here, let's see, over 2.5, I think is the comfortable play, which is at minus 172, but you get plus 146 at over 3.5. Now, this is an interesting ticket I got so far. If I'm going to get greedy, I got 5 teams here with Toronto over 3.5, Vegas over 2.5, Ducks over 3.5, Islanders over 3.5, Jets over 3.5. All that pay is 50-1 right now.
Yeah, that's interesting. That is interesting ticket there, Steve. All right, let's take a look at this game. Detroit is in St. Louis taking on the Blues. St. Louis is on the back-to-back. You're over under here 6.5 tonight with the over paying plus 114. You're under minus 135. Both teams are minus 110 on the money line. So Detroit not getting much love right now. And they will burn you sometimes. I've had them in some tickets where they just have a complete letdown on you. I'm going to hope that that's not the case tonight. John Gibson's going to be in goal for the Wings. I don't have a goalie for the Blues yet. But, Steve, I'll tell you what, you can get some interesting numbers. Minus 1.5 on the puck line is at plus 220 for the Red Wings. I mean, could they not do that against a team that got beat 6-3 last night in Pittsburgh? We've seen that Detroit has the ability to score. So, Steve, I think this would be a Detroit play for me. Tough spot here for St. Louis, I feel like.
Dylan Larkin has been on fire. 13 points for him, 6 goals, 7 assists through his 6 games played. So, pretty strong.
Yes, and a 60-minute line for the Wings also plus money. So this could be a 60-minute line type ticket night for me.
Binnington is still a decent goalie if he ends up being the one. 3.12 goals against for him. You mentioned Gibson. He's at 3.46, but the Detroit offense is what's been carrying this team, I believe, right? Let's not make up any lies here. Yeah, basically. I mean, 30 goals scored through 9 games. So that's a little better than 3 goals a game. I mean, nothing super great, but still somewhat offensively proficient here. They've only given up 29 goals. So they're right there at a +1. Let's see, St. Louis here. I mean, they're giving up goals. That's going to be their issue. 39 goals through 9 games. So that's right at 4 goals a game. And they're scoring right at 3. So recipe for disaster for the Blues, who've lost 4 in a row maybe. If Detroit can get that magical 4th goal, that seems to be the one that gets you over the top of St. Louis if need be. I would pass here, but I would not doubt Detroit wins this game, like you said, Dave. -110 sounds like a nice price if you just need to win on the road here.
Yeah, I like the Wings in this spot. I really do. All right, so next game up, Steve, our Capitals, they're in Dallas tonight, 8:40 p.m. puck drop. We have another 5.5 total here, -130 for the over, +110 for the under. Cap's going to be +114 dogs on the money line tonight, -135 for the Stars at home. Let's get a goalie matchup here. We have Jake Ottinger for the Stars, and I've gotta think it's going to be Logan Thompson for the Caps. I'm not sure why he wouldn't be up there. Lindgren played last. Not a very good outing for the team in general. But anytime you give up that many, I couldn't imagine that he's going to be the starter tonight. +170 Caps 60-minute line, +110 for the Stars. Steve, I mean, these are two very good teams going at it. Dallas with a little bit more of the injuries. Caps have a couple themselves, though. I figured this to be a pretty tight game here.
The Capitals have been fantastic defensively, and the goaltending has been superb with Logan Thompson. 5-1 for him, 1.50 goals against average, 9.38 save percentage. Those numbers are 1 and 2 in the league, respectively. So he has been a complete brick wall. And then on the flip side of things, we have Jake Ottinger, 4-2 and 1, a 2.99 goals against for him, 0.899 save percentage. Kind of towards the bottom of the league, 27th with that 2.99. But the Caps now on the road for what, third game on the road here, Dave?
Yeah, they are 3-0 on the season, though.
Okay. I'm going to lean under here.
I am too.
And a very playoff type of style of hockey game in which very well could be your NHL final.
All right. Yeah, I like it, Steve. I absolutely agree.
Pass overall, since I lean the under and I'm just looking for goals over. But an excellent hockey game. And this is on the national broadcast for ESPN as their middle game of their triple header here on the Frozen Frenzy.
All right. Yep. No play for me as well. All right, Steve, here's an interesting one. The Senators that's Ottawa, taking on the Chicago Blackhawks. 5.5 is your number here. That might not be enough. -130 for the over, plus 110 for the under. Let's see if we've got a goaltending matchup here. We do. Spencer Knight, who has been brilliant for Chicago. That has been a good trade for both teams. The trade being that Seth Jones goes from Chicago to the Florida Panthers, and in return, they get Spencer Knight, who that has worked out really, really well for both sides. Spencer Knight kind of shoring things up for Chicago, which is something that they've really needed. So that's helping their cause right now to be a better team, and they are playing much better. Allmark in there for the Senators. Steve, I don't know. I feel like, the Senators play last night, and they get a nice win, 7-2, thumping Boston. But again, we said it earlier, it takes a good amount of effort to score 7 goals. Can they duplicate that again? I don't know. I think this might be the spot for the Blackhawks at home. However you want to do it. If you want to do their team total, why would it do that? God. I think whatever their team total is, Steve, 2.5, I think is going to be. Let me try and get back to that.
I love that play, to be honest. If you want me to just mention that, I mean, a good chance for the Blackhawks to win at home. Like you mentioned, Spencer, he's the 5th best goalie in the league right now as far as his stats go. His goals against is 1.97 and third best save percentage at 0.937, 3-2-1 overall. So the offense hasn't helped him a little bit. But I feel like this is a Blackhawks team trending in the right way. We have an Ottawa team here who gives up a bunch of goals. They've given up 37 through 10. So I think the 2.5 is a good number for Chicago.
Minus 140. I love it.
Yeah, I think that's a great play.
All right, so
I'll add that onto the list.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's do that one. I really that and the Ducks play is very interesting to me. I don't think before that we would probably ever put those two teams together in the tickets for team totals. Certainly not last year we wouldn't. But now here we are, a new season, Steve, and we're thinking about the Ducks and the Blackhawks on the same ticket, team totals. So I love it, Steve. Blackhawks over 2.5 goals tonight. The Devils, they're taking on Colorado. This is an interesting game. Colorado, like you said, Steve, dropping a few. And New Jersey, they're playing very well right now. Over-under is 6.5, plus 110 for the over. Minus 130 for the under. Colorado's minus 162 at home. Maybe a good opportunity for the Devils at plus 136 on the money line. Although it's really hard to go against Colorado at home. So I have no goalie, Steve. I think if it's me and I'm picking an angle here, if you're going to give me plus 110 for over 6.5 goals, I'm gonna take that.
Okay, interesting. I was gonna say the other way, probably. A lot like Vegas and Carolina, these two teams meeting for the second time already. They played on Sunday, and it did go over in overtime 4-3 with a Jack Hughes overtime winner for the Devils. And now they flipped. Maybe they shared the flight back out to Colorado, Dave, together, and maybe a lower scoring game this time around, only because Colorado's had issues scoring. They haven't given up a lot, though. They've only given up the 26 goals. So those 4 by New Jersey are well more than anyone's really gotten on them all year. And the Devils give up nothing.
Right.
Just 22 goals allowed. So I'm going to lean under here. And a real good game. I don't know how Colorado is minus 162.
Right. Yeah, that does.
You're getting a nice number on the Devils plus 134, but you figure they are due to lose. But I mean, are they? You're getting 2-1 on the Devils 60-minute line, and And then if you really just are a real big Devil enthusiast and you think Colorado's a joke, minus 1.5 is at plus 320. So big numbers available on the alt lines for the Devils as well. I think Colorado still is a good team at the end of the day, and I will pass on this, but I'll lean under.
All right. Sounds good. A little difference of opinion here in the studio. Yep. Nothing wrong with it. All right, Steve. Utah is in Edmonton, and I thought this was the interesting game for them. Minus 130 for the under, which is going to be 6.5 tonight here in this game, plus 110 for the over. And we're going to look at the goalies here. Hopefully they give us some. I do not. Do you have any goalies?
Let's see. I'm slow to click on this. And we are at Utah. I do like to name the Mammoth, though.
Right.
No goalies.
All right, no goalies. So, Steve, this is probably going to be a pretty good game. Utah is playing very well, and we talked about this just a little bit earlier. Edmonton is doing what they always do, and it's off to these slow starts for them. So, if that's going to be the case, the Mammoth leading their division right now at a mark of 8-2. I'm going to take them plus 130 on the money line, Steve. I mean, I don't see why you wouldn't at least give it a chance. I think they can beat Edmonton, even though it's at home. Again, it's the same old thing that we've said previous seasons. Slow starts. The personnel is about the same. I'm not sure really about the goaltending. I like how Utah is playing right now. So give me the chance. Plus 130 on the money line, Steve.
Let's see. I mean, minus 144 over 2.5 goals for Utah.
And I'd like that as well.
So I would lean there. I think this is going to be a pass for me, but I do like Utah. Just because that's the trend here. And it's easy to Edmonton's playing Utah. I mean, how bad can Edmonton be? And then sure enough, they just come out and get smoked, right?
Right.
So over 2.5 goals for Utah at minus 144 is attractive. Would I rather have that or the Golden Knights over 2.5 would be my question.
Yeah, that's the.
I think I'd rather have Utah because of the weak defense for Edmonton.
Right. That's interesting. Yeah, we might have to take a look at that one. Putting on another ticket maybe. So Steve, here's a game. All right, the Rangers are in Vancouver taking on the Canucks. Your number tonight is going to be 5.5 for these teams. Minus 125 for the over, plus 105 for the under. Let's see if we get a goaltending matchup here. I do not. Steve, do you have any?
Let's see here. Very banged up team again. Remember, no goalies, but very banged up team. This Vancouver team. So maybe that's why if you're asking yourself why the Rangers are a favorite in this game, it might be because of the Vancouver injuries.
Right. But, not by much. Minus 120 on the money line for the Rangers.
Right.
Plus 100 for the Canucks. To me, Steve, these teams, if you look in the mirror, they're probably looking at each other in the fact that I feel like they're kind of similar with where they're at right now. So for that sake, I don't think there's a play in here for me. Steve, can you make the case for anything in this one?
I mean, Vancouver is as even, Steven, as you can get. 10 games played, they're 5-5. They have 10 points. They have 29 goals scored, 31 allowed at a -2. They're 2-2 at home, 3-3 on the road, and in their last 10, they're 5-5.
Right.
They literally win every other game. So what are you going to get from them? And they are banged up. The Rangers, meanwhile, they're having their issues. 3 losses in a row for them. 3-5-2 in their last 10. On the road, though, they are 3-1-1, so better on the road than at home. This is a pass, a run for the hills for me.
Absolutely. All right, we got 2 left, Steve, so we're doing good. This is an interesting game to me. And I'm not so sure 5.5 here. I think it's achievable. That's your number, minus 125 for the over, plus 105 for the under. The Canadians are going to be minus 125 on the money line on the road. So the Kraken plus 105, dogs at home. I don't know. I see a scenario where Seattle could win this game. I don't have any goalies listed again. Steve, I'm guessing you don't either.
Nope.
All right. So interesting game here. I wouldn't be afraid to take the over 5.5 on this one. It's just kind of my first initial thought here. I think both of these teams could get to their team total. Montreal is a team that I like to throw in the team totals. Not all the time. I kind of wait for them to catch a trend as well, get on a little bit of streak, because they have had moments where, they kind of kill off what you have going on ticket wise. So Steve, I'm gonna go ahead and lean with the over here. No official play at the moment, but I think these two teams are capable of kind of putting it on each other.
Seattle's been a nice surprise, right? I mean, 9 games played for them. Again, even Stevenish, 25 goals, 25 allowed, but 5-2-2 overall. They're able to gain a couple of points in overtime, undefeated at home. Still one of a handful of teams that haven't lost at home yet, so they have that going for them. And like you said, Montreal, they've been a beast. 7-3 last 10, 4-2 on the road. They've scored 36, allowed 30. This should be a good game.
I think so as well.
And they haven't lost at home yet. I'm going to pass. I could see this being right at the number every way around.
Right.
4-3 game, maybe it's 3-2. Finding it hard for that last team to get the tying goal. Maybe it ends up 4-2. Good game. I'll pass.
All right. Last game of the evening, Steve. We've made it. If you're up at 11-10 and you need something to watch, we got it for you. It's the LA Kings at the San Jose Sharks. Your number here is going to be 5.5, minus 142 for the over. If you need a late nightcap, I think I could jump on board with that. Plus 120 for the under. Sharks plus 180 at home. Minus 218 for the Kings on the money line. We'll see if we have some goalies for this one. No, that seems to be the trend. I don't have any there in this game. Steve, the Sharks, I don't know, man. Could they surprise the Kings here? I feel comfortable with the Kings on the road. Minus 1.5 on the puck line at plus 120 maybe. Or let's just continue with kind of what we've been doing. Minus 120 on the puck line, Steve. I put my trust here in the Kings on the road against the Sharks.
The Kings off to a slow start. They've been a little bit better as of late. 4-3-3 overall in their last 10. They haven't won at home yet. 4-1-2 though on the road, and it's 5.5. And we've had what? I said it earlier in the San Jose game. 71 goals scored through 9 games. So that's right at 8 goals a game right now. I think that is a overplay for sure tonight.
Absolutely.
The Kings have given up a little bit on the back end too. They've given up 33 goals in 10 games, so they can give you 3.5 goals if you're San Jose here. This is the highest. This is the dead over game of the night to me. If you want to take it on some sort of alternate puck line, over 7.5 at plus 270, you might as well. If you don't want to put it on your primary ticket, I get it because you want to get things done early in the night. But over 5.5 is cheap to me. I would consider that just on the overall ticket of things. With what I have built over here. I mean, this ticket pays huge. If I were to play $50 on it, I mean, it'll pay $7,760 right now. And that would be Toronto over 3.5, Anaheim over 3.5, Islanders over 3.5, Winnipeg over 3.5, Blackhawks and Mammoth over 2.5, and then over 5.5 in the Kings and the Sharks. So a big payout. If we narrow it down to a couple more teams off that list I gave you, we can still get a nice payout. So I'm going to play around with this, but I'm going to put the Sharks and Kings on my ticket here for the over. Why?
Nice.
Because San Jose's been an auto over every game they play.
Right. All right, Steve, that is the end of the slate there. Should we throw somebody into the penalty box?
Sure. Why not? I'll go ahead and cue up the referees.
All right.
I think we know everything going on now. We should each have a candidate.
You're trying to switch 7 guys. Mike, come on. You can't do that. That was probably number 10. 2 minutes broken. 82, Tampa, tripping.
All right, Steve, who you got for the penalty box?
Dave, I mean, there's any number of angles we could go with here, but I used Calgary last week. I will go ahead and, I mean, the Rangers are an obvious one. Again, is there something else I can come up with? You know what? I'll just go ahead and say Boston.
All right.
Let's throw Boston in the penalty box, although the Rangers really deserve it. What do you got?
Yeah, I was thinking Boston as well, Steve, but I'll tell you what. Let's go with a team in the St. Louis Blues who got beat 6-3 in Pittsburgh last night. How about that?
Losers are 4 in a row. That's a good one to hop on.
So St. Louis and Boston can't do that. You are in the penalty box.
All right.
All right.
Goal score?
Yeah, let's do a goal score.
I'll give you 3.
All right, I'll give you 2.
We'll go back to the Kings game, and we'll go ahead and take Adrian Kempe at plus 140. We'll go ahead and add on I'll go ahead and add on Kyle Palmieri at plus 210.
There you go.
For the Islanders. And I will go ahead and add on my man who always scores for me every time I take him. We'll take John Tavares at plus 180.
Nice. All right, Steve, I'm going to go with one of our guys, Ryan Leonard, for the Caps. He's been playing lights out. First full season, he got some time in the playoffs last year. So I think still considered a rookie, but he is having himself a nice season so far and looking like a great tool for the Capitals lineup. So we're going to go with Ryan Leonard, again, plus 350 there. And then we're going to take this guy from the Golden Knights, Pavel Doriev, I think is how you say that, at plus 180, Steve.
All right. I like it. All right. Full slate, Dave. Good job.
Yes, sir.
All right. Broke it all down. If you need any more of this program, go ahead and rewind. We're right at the puck drop for the 7 o'clock games and beyond. So enjoy those and pay attention to the broadcast schedule we have up on screen here. I should have mentioned that at the top of the show. If you're just listening, I'll go ahead and read it down to you real quick. But every Sunday morning, 7 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, our NFL show, The Round the Robin. Every Tuesday night at 6 p.m. Eastern is this program, What the Puck is Going On. Every Wednesday at 12:30 p.m. is Sizzle Lean with Karen Dougherty. That's our mature ladies fitness program. All ladies, really. But she has a fine niche with the old school weightlifter ladies. They're fun to listen to and talk to. Good tips there on nutrition, working out, etc. Inquisition Unknown ? Season 2 with me every Tuesday at 7 p.m. Eastern Will we have a show tonight? I think we might. And Friday, soccer paycheck, every non-international break Friday with me talking the EPL, the championship. We let these teams play. Maybe we have a little bit better feel for them, and we'll try to come back out with some soccer picks. And let's get back to the glory days of winning big soccer bets. How about that, Dave?
Yes, sir.
All right. Anything else from you, Dave?
No, I think that's going to do it. We got a great slate of action. So on a night like tonight, I mean, what better thing to do than turn it on? I think the NHL Frenzy, man, they get a lot of those games going, kind of like YouTube TV does with the quad screen. They kind of put them all up and flash back and forth like a red zone. So pretty cool stuff with the NHL Frenzy tonight. I will definitely be tuning into that.
All right. Good luck, everybody.
What the puck is going on?